high five to everyone who has clicked on my very first video. Thank you. Stay tuned till the end because this Mother's Day we are not talking about mother's love but all that a mother is capable of rather than just being a mother. So hola everyone, this is Neha Jain and today I am very happy to host a very special woman who started her motherhood as a choice and not just as a necessity. Even after 2 disturbing marital breakdowns, she is someone who chose to chin up, rise up professionally and decided to extend her family by bringing profound joy through adoption. Not just kids but some possum friends as well. A bold, confident, successful HR leader for over 25 years, an ardent animal lover, an independent single mother who's been playing the role of two. Miss Anupama Rammohan is not just a mother. We are extremely happy to share the screen with her today. We welcome you, ma'am.
Thank you, Sneha.
So are you ready to empower all the mothers out there?
I'm ready, yes.
So let's get it started. Even today, most of the mothers do not have the courage, in spite of the potential they possess and the required talent they possess, they do not have that courage and confidence to step out professionally. And even if they have, they kind of have this mommy guilt inside them that they have to perform their mommy duties side by side. The work-life balance that we say, the fancier the term is, the more challenging it seems to be. So as a professional mother yourself and a mommy of 2 lovely daughters, how realistic it is to have a consistent work-life balance?
See, for all working mothers today, a work-life balance is a bit of a myth. Working hours have extended because of laptops and because of phones. Whichever profession you are in, whether you're in IT or whether you're in any profession, I have seen my sister who's a teacher bring her work home and work late into the night, you know. So I think work-life balance is a big challenge for all working mothers today. It's more like balancing your priorities. Sometimes your professional priorities have to take precedence, sometimes your personal priorities take precedence. It depends on the situation. And you have to use all the support you can get from your family, from domestic help, from professional childcare, from your friends. So that's really what work-life balance is about.
And ma'am, when it comes to solo parenting, it usually brings a ample of hardships like financial worries, emotional battles and a lot more. So being a single parent with a successful career like you, so does it make life a little less stressful?
See, parenting itself is a challenge. The financial worries, the emotional worries, those are there whether you're single or whether you're part of a couple. If you're a couple and if you have a good partner, you can share the worries, you can share the stress. If you are single or if you don't have the right partner, you have nobody to share the stress with. So that can get lonely. But then even if you don't have a partner, if you have a good support network, you have friends, you have family, then it's not lonely. So I would say it really depends on your support network.
So ma'am, when it comes to your life, you have chosen a very unique way to combat your loneliness. So let our viewers know about that, ma'am.
All right, so I was in my mid-30s and I was divorced twice and I kind of felt a little bit like a failure. My profession wasn't going very well at that time either. And I kind of felt that I'd reached nowhere either professionally or personally, especially when I compared myself with my friends who were either doing well personally or professionally, and some of them both. And that's when I decided that I had a choice to either feel bad about life or I had a choice to make something out of it, and I chose to make something out of it. I come from a family of extremely strong women. So actually the second was the only choice I had. The first was not an option. So that was when I decided to adopt. I am very lucky that my parents were not just my parents, my entire family were 100% supportive. My mother's the one who gave me the courage to go ahead and do it, and she's always been there for me. And once I adopted my older daughter, about a year later I actually applied or registered to adopt a second child because I realized I enjoyed being a mother.
So ma'am, when you told that you felt like a failure, I think you're playing the role of two. So you're not less than a superhero, ma'am.
Thank you.
So ma'am, when it comes to hustling between exhausting hours of work and also performing your parenting duties, How often do you get time to focus on self-care?
Self-care, what's that?
Taking time for yourself, like a quick session for a French manicure, a quick long drive with your dogs, a day out from the work, off from work.
So one thing that I have consciously done is make sure that I get 1 hour of exercise in the morning. I've done this every day, definitely for the last 15 years, probably longer than that. And I'm a little fanatic about it. So it's either a walk or it's a workout or it's yoga, but whatever it is, 1 hour of exercise. I eat healthy. I wind down with a book every night before I go to sleep. Of course, in the last couple of years, it's been Netflix or books, sometimes only movies. But yes, I think regularly this is what I do for self-care. Once in a way on Sundays, I just get into the car and drive out by myself. I love driving. Sometimes with my dogs, sometimes without, usually with my dogs actually, just me and my dogs and music. So just go for a long drive. I don't have any routine like, massages or, manicure or, those kind of things. I grab that if necessary, if there's an occasion, if there's a wedding or something like that I have to attend. But on a daily basis, it's my exercise, healthy food and a book.
So we have a mother here who is not just a mother but is also coping up with the trends just like how we millennials are. So ma'am, when it comes to parenting, the soaring digital media, peer pressure, bullying, how much does it worry you as a parent? Like how do you cope up with the current scenario?
Oh, this is a tough one. See, this is all new for us. For all of us who are parents of teenagers today, this is new and this is very scary because we know very little about it. It wasn't around when we were growing up. Nothing really prepares us for it. Even our children are just discovering it. So I talk to my children, I listen to them, I talk to my friends who've got children of the same age. We consult, we share, we exchange notes, we talk to each other. We're constantly checking, drawing boundaries, redrawing boundaries. Different parents have different limits for their children. I had my children late. So unfortunately, my children have got a fairly old-fashioned mother. But yes, I do try to make sure that I don't hold them back. I'm able to give them freedom, but at the same time, keep them protected. It's a thin line and it moves every day, Sneha.
After 2 marital breakdowns, I'm sure you must have gone through a heavy emotional baggage for a long time. So what motivated you to rise and shine and be a person what you are today?
I mentioned earlier that I come from a family of very strong women. My grandmother was widowed in the 1940s, okay, and she came from a village. You can imagine what the life would have been like at that time for a woman who was just recently widowed. Her daughter was just a few years old, 2, 3, 4 years old at that time. She went back to work. She worked as a teacher and she worked for several years. She retired as a government school teacher. She never married again, despite the fact that there were many proposals for her, because she did not want to compromise the future of her daughter. She was very clear that her daughter was priority. She was a committed teacher. She was very active. She was very socially active in terms of social work. And all of my aunts, my own mother is extremely strong. All of my aunts are, very strong, successful women in whatever they've chosen to be. So really, it runs in the family. I don't know how much credit I can personally take for it.
Absolutely, ma'am. So, ma'am, your strong, compassionate feeling for animals have enabled you to adopt a 3rd child with special needs, of course. So, let our viewers know about this rewarding relationship that came your way.
Yeah, these are my very rewarding relationships. So, Troy is a 3-legged dog. He lost his 3rd leg in a very bad accident as a 1.5-month-old puppy. I adopted him from a shelter in Coimbatore called Humane Animal Society. My whole family is associated with HAS in some way or the other. My mother used to foster care puppies for a very long time. He actually came as a foster pup and it was love at first sight. I just looked at his face and fell in love with him. By evening, he came in the afternoon along with a set of other puppies, and by evening I told my mom I'm adopting him. So yeah, he's the joy of my life. And then last year we gave home to a blind dog called Raja, who had been found abandoned in a ditch by one of the HAS volunteers. He's about 7 years old. He's blind. He's adorable. He's lovely. He's very affectionate. Yeah, he lives quite happily with us. He doesn't get along with the other dogs because they're all adults now. But we have space, so, you know, they kind of coexist.
Coming back to parenting, as you have an expertise in the corporate field, could you please enlighten us on some parenting policies in India, like the existing ones, and also what different policies could be brought in India to support working moms to make their work culture hassle-free?
See, I think companies are doing whatever they can. We have a fairly generous maternity benefits policy. I mean, by law, you know, 6 months of maternity leave with full pay is not usual. You don't, apart from Europe, you don't really see it in many other. It's far more generous than, well, a lot of other countries that I have exposure to. Over and above that, a lot of corporates do try to provide flexibility to mothers as much as possible. They don't want to lose their, their women folk once they become mothers. A lot of companies understand that talent is not easy to replace. So companies do provide a lot of flexibility. But again, at the end of the day, we have to remember that companies exist for a profit. That's why we get salaries, that's why we get bonuses, that's why we get incentives. So as mothers, we also have to make sure that we have a good support system in place before we choose to become mothers, rather than scramble and struggle, you know, after the child comes in.
Absolutely, ma'am. But what different could companies do to make it a little more convenient?
See, a lot of companies provide creches if they're large enough, you know, in the facility that they are in. That, by the way, was very useful for me when I just adopted my older daughter. She was under 3 years old. It was very useful that I didn't have to travel somewhere else to drop her off at the creche. So that is a facility that companies provide, and that's very useful. I think apart from that, if companies can just provide flexibility to mothers and not hold that against them when it comes to promotions and when it comes to decisions on important roles, I think that will be very helpful for working mothers.
So ma'am, your life has been quite a roller coaster ride, which has made you strong as a woman, as a mother, and individually as well. So learning from your past experiences professionally and personally, what kind of values do you intend to inculcate in your daughters?
See, like you pointed out in the beginning, I became a mother by choice. So I was actually quite clear about what values I hope to instill in them. The first one, what all parents try to do, is really character, honesty, integrity, you know, those kind of things. I think that goes without saying, and all parents want to do that. Apart from that, independence is something that I think is very important. I want them to grow up as women who can give themselves the life they want, rather than depend on me or a partner or a man or whatever, you know, to give that to them. I have made a conscious effort to instill kindness and compassion, because I think the world really needs that today. Be happy. You know, we have only this one life, and at least this one life that we are aware of, so be happy. And be socially responsible citizens. I think that is something that I've consciously worked on. So this would be it.
That's definitely very inspiring, ma'am. So tell about your relationship with your mother, ma'am. What have been your learnings from her motherhood?
My mother is the wind beneath my wings. You know, there's so much in life that I would not have done if it hadn't been for her, you know, for her constant love, encouragement and support. I definitely could not have adopted 2 children and managed my career. I mean, anytime I needed to travel, and I've needed to travel in all my jobs, anytime I've needed to travel, no matter how inconvenient it was for her, she would drop everything and come. Either she and my dad would come if he could take off. If he couldn't, she would come alone, and she would just hold fort, you know, till I came back. What I've learned from my mother is integrity, commitment, responsibility and ownership.
That's definitely inspiring for all the mothers out there. And when it comes to Anupama ma'am, single parenting, adoption, animal lover, what not? So ma'am, when it comes to societal beliefs, still there are so many taboos and myths that exist in our society. So today I want you to do the honors to break these following stereotypes, ma'am. So are you ready?
Yep.
So the first one is a very basic and common one that we get to hear like almost each day. Single moms are too busy to spend time with their children.
Oh, that's a myth. All moms are too busy to spend time with their children, whether single or otherwise. No, I think moms today are very aware that quality time is necessary and make a conscious effort. Almost every mother I know makes a conscious effort to spend quality time with the child. It's challenging, it's difficult, especially if you're working, single or otherwise. It's equally challenging. It's a myth.
Adopt only if you're perfect in parenting.
Become a parent only when you're ready. That's what I would say. Whether you're having a biological child or you're adopting a child, become a parent only when you're ready. It's not easy. It's not easy, and it never gets easier. You think when they grow older it gets easier. It doesn't. I think once they become like in their 30s, you can relax. But till then, they kind of keep you on your toes. So be a parent only when you're ready.
If moms work, who will take care of the household chores and the extended family?
There are domestic help for that, to take care of household chores. I don't see why only moms should do it. Taking care of the family, every family member should take care of each other. Again, I don't see why only moms should do it. I mean, that's something that's happened because of our very patriarchal society. Everybody's job, every family member has to play a role in taking care of the family. And for chores, there are domestic help.
I'll be a bad mom if I put myself first.
I'll be a bad mom if I don't put myself first. If I'm not happy, if I don't stand up for myself, how will I teach my children to be happy? How will I teach my children to stand up for themselves?
So to all the mothers out there, now you know that it's okay to choose yourself first. So if you're doing that, it's completely all right. Get on with it. So after some serious conversation, let's get on with the fun segment. So are you ready for a very cool rapid fire round with a very cool mother in the house today? So let's get started, ma'am.
Yes.
Ice cream on a rainy day or a cup of hot tea while reading your favorite book?
Hot tea, favorite book.
Today is Mother's Day and a genie has granted you 3 wishes. What would they be?
Sleep, sleep, and sleep.
Working mother, you see. Her priorities. What's one thing or app that you'd want to delete from your daughter's phone?
All the social media apps that she has.
Anupama ma'am's daughters, if you're seeing this, keep your phone away from her. Watch it out, huh? 2 surprising things that you got to know from your daughters which you wouldn't have known otherwise.
That lol is actually a word. I didn't know that. I thought it was a short form. And burn doesn't mean actually get burnt with fire. Okay, it means with words or something like that. It goes with lol, I think.
So what did you think lol is?
I didn't think it was anything. I just thought it was a weird sound they made. This generation of kids that we don't understand. Yeah.
That's very interesting. So any millennial craze that you'd want your daughters to stay away from?
Oh, lots of them. Yes. The SMS language that they use today. Okay, I studied in a convent and really particular about English. So when I see things like IDK, I want to cry. So yes, I wish I could change that. I really wish I could change that. And they would spell like normal.
I can relate with you on this on a very personal level because I am from a convent school too, and yeah, even I belong to a millennial generation, but still I don't know any short forms or messaging languages.
Okay, wow. Good for you.
So moving on to another fun segment of the day, which is Would You Rather round. So ma'am, you'll have to choose between 2 difficult situations and let me know, would you rather do this or do that? So let's get it started. Would you rather fun freak with your old friends or bake a cake with your kids?
Fun freak with my old friends.
Would you rather send your daughter on a date or host their date at your place?
Host their date at my place.
Oh my god, that's a very cool mom in our house today. Anupama ma'am's daughter. Just fix a date and convey to your mom, and I'm sure you'll have a gala time at your home. Would you rather agree to, Mama, I want to go on a trip to Goa with my friends, or listen to, Ma, can I go for a sleepover at my friend's place 3 times each day and still not give permission?
The trip to Goa, depending on how old they are, I mean, now they're too young for it. I have no problems with them going to Goa as long as I know the friends they're going with.
So in the next few years, get your tickets. Would you rather want your daughters to be genius or disciplined?
Neither. I'd want them to be happy.
That's something very interesting we need to focus on these days, because happiness is something we take for granted. Right, ma'am?
Yep.
Would you rather get stranded on an island alone or go on a coffee date with your favorite celebrity?
Why is that even a question? Obviously a coffee date with my favorite celebrity.
And who would it be?
Ooh, so many of them. Farhan Akhtar, Hrithik Roshan, Deepika Padukone. I could go on and on.
Awesome. That's super cool. So now that you're choosing yourself in all the aspects, keeping yourself first, I want you to give one message to all the mothers out there who are in a dilemma of choosing between what I want and what I must do.
What I want to do and what I must do really differs from situation to situation. It depends on each person's priorities. I do have one message for mothers. Have girlfriends. Okay, they're going to be your strength, they're going to be your support, they're going to be your guides. You have to have someone to call, you know, when you're in a dilemma over your children, irrespective of whether you're a couple or not, or you're single. Have girlfriends. I think that's the most important message I would give. My friends, my girlfriends are, apart from my family, my source of strength, my source of happiness, my guide whenever I'm in any kind of trouble or I need to make a decision. So that's the message I'd like to give all mothers.
So I'm sure definitely everybody must be having their girlfriends, but due to some parental responsibilities, household work, professionally work, they might not get time to meet their friends. But I think now it's the time. Ring up your phone, get in touch with them and take out time for yourself.
Absolutely.
It was great talking to you, ma'am. And from Happy to Host, we have a small hamper for you on the occasion of Mother's Day.
Thank you.
A token of gratitude and love.
Thank you so much.
So we were extremely happy to have you here, ma'am. Thank you so much for taking out time and making your presence over here. This is a small gift hamper from Happy to Host. And on the occasion of Mother's Day, we would like to gift you this. And thank you so much for coming here.
Thank you so much. This is so thoughtful of you and thank you for having me. I enjoyed myself.
Happy Mother's Day, ma'am.
Thank you.
So to all the mothers out there, love your kids, of course, but also love yourself. If you want to step out professionally and rule the world, do it right away. The world is waiting for you. If you want to start your own business, do it now. What are you waiting for? Who is stopping you? Do anything you like. But before you let that mom guilt overtake you, always remember that you are not just a mother. This is Neha Jain signing off. For more inspirational videos like this, do subscribe to my YouTube channel Happy to Host and do not forget to press that bell icon for further notifications. Bye-bye.